The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Studio 6 Entertainment, Armed Media, or the Entertainment Partners LLC. Enjoy the show.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. Chili baby back ribs.
Once again, this is your host, Matt Hasley. We're coming to you live on Straight Talk. We're have a little bit of audio change, so hopefully it's going to be a lot clearer for you, a little bit easier for me. Or I don't know about easier yet, but I got to thank a friend of mine for spending multiple hours with me over last few days, trying to get it straightened out. We had all kinds of issues. He said, disconnect everything and let's start from scratch. So I got to thank him for the help he did, and I have no feedback otherwise. A little bit different because I don't hear the music playing. I have to know when to key it in, when not to. So it's a little bit. I'm not quite used to that, and that's a little bit different. So I'm going to have to figure out somehow to be able to put another headphone in my ear and listen to the music as it's going, because I got different boards going and everything, and it's actually, I mean, it's neat, but it's a lot of work, and hopefully I won't have too many problems with it. What I want to do is special thanks to him for getting us going there. He didn't have to do it, and he took the extra time. That's what he does for a living, and he went the extra mile for me. I appreciate it. But I want to do is let you know that with special thanks to all of our sponsors out there. We have a new sponsor, Xunity. TV made simple. You can play games, share photos, chat with friends, social media, enjoy live TV from around the globe, and much more. Keep up to date with all your sports, latest movies, comics, or all media, Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, Skype, Twitter, and anything else you can't find, or anything else you can find on the Google Play Store. So, xunity.tv. Go ahead and check them out. I think you'll be amazed. Also, knlconsulting.com. KNL provides a variety of services for your business. Payroll, employee management, commercial funding, premium business services without a contract. Name you can trust. Write down this number, 781-928-9265. 100% money back guarantee, and they will match any competitor's offer. So remember, knlconsulting.com. Just want to let you know we're coming across quite a few platforms there. So you can listen to us live, or you can actually listen to us on mine will come back on a podcast on Spreaker, but you can actually listen to me live if you want to interact with the show. You can do it on Facebook at Armed Radio 1, or you can reach us on Twitter at Armed Radio 1. My Facebook is just going off the wall. I mean, it's I'm not even logged into it right now, and it's just popping up boom, on my iPad. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think, if I do take any calls, they're going to have to be, I'm not patched in yet through my phone. I got to get another cable. I wasn't able to get it because we fixed it last night, and the store to get a cable was not open today, being a holiday. So I'll pick one up tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to get my my phone patched through and make it a lot easier, a lot clearer, and it should be make everything just a lot more stress-free for me. I mean, it was last Friday I was ready to pull my hair out. I was into the hooch early, as you'd say. But no, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Right now, We got current NBA games going on, or actually current NBA game going on. And Heat are beating the Pacers 60-48 with 7:29 left to go in the third quarter. And NHL news, let me see here. I got to refresh this one because I brought it up earlier. Let's see. Blackhawks are down 3-0 by the Kings. Got must be just ending the first period, so they're down 3-0 after the first period. Wow. And in Major League Baseball current scores right now, we had Red Sox beat the Braves 8-6. Marlins beat the Nationals 3-2. Indians got beat by the White Sox 6-2. My Cubbies, beat the Giants 8-4. Mariners beat the Angels 5-1. Phillies beat the Rockies 9-0. And Dodgers are 1-0 top of the fifth over the Reds. Padres are 4-2 over the Diamondbacks in top of the fifth. Pirates 5-3 over the Mets. Orioles beat the Brewers 7-6. Rangers beat the Twins 7-2. Tigers got walloped by the Athletics 10-0. They had a touchdown and a field goal against them, I guess. Yankees beat the Cardinals. Thank you, Yankees. I love to see that every time the Cardinals lose. Makes my day. And in the bottom of the seventh, Blue Jays are put a 10 spot on the Rays. They're beating them 10-5. And also last game, Astros-Royals. Astros are leading 5-0, top of the third. I'll give you updates on those games, or they're in progress later. Yesterday was a pretty cool tournament. I don't know if you got to see the Crown. It was the Crown Plaza Invitational. It's at Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth, Texas, which is a huge, tourist stop. It's a long-time tourist stop. Ben Hogan Stomping Grounds, that's what they call it. But, he made for a good tournament yesterday. Adam Scott and Jason Duffner ended up tied for the lead at 9 under and had to go into a playoff. And it was a neat playoff. But one thing I also like to say is David Toms, who hadn't been around the leaderboard lately, he finished 7 under and a tied for 5th. So there was 2 guys tied for 3rd, and let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys tied for 5th. So great to see one of the older guys get in there and show these young kids how they can play. But Adam Scott and Jason Duffner went on, and I thought Duffner was going to do is win it on the second playoff hole when he stiffed it in there about 4 feet, and then Adam Scott makes it from off the green. I was like, wow. The one thing they can always say is there's no defense in golf. You can. It's one of those games where you can do everything right and still lose. You see guys that are sitting in the clubhouse and they're waiting for that last player to come in, and it's like all they got to do is, they're ready to sign. They're almost giving them the trophy, and then all of a sudden you see a guy hole out for deuce on the last hole to win. Robert Gomez did that in one tournament a while back, a long time back, and Bob Tway won the PGA that way, holding out of a bunker on the 18th hole. It's just. You never know when lightning's going to strike like that, and it's pretty neat when it does happen like that, unless it happens to you. I wouldn't hate to see it happen to me, but I guess I could handle second place. Let me see. It doesn't give us the money here, but I'm sure it was the winning share was $1.1 million, $1,152,000. So I would bet about Duffner, even though he was upset that he lost, he still probably made $750,000, maybe $700,000. That would be really tough to take that check to the bank. Oh man, I just would be so depressed. I know I'd love to have that wheelbarrow myself and wheel all that money to the bank. But yeah, these guys, they go out there and they do a lot of work for it. The Senior PGA Championship was going on, and that was at the Harbor Shores Golf Club. And congratulations to Colin Montgomery for his first win on, on the Champions Tour and winning in style. He won by 4 shots over Tom Watson. Tom's still doing it. Tom's like 60 years old and still killing it. Hits the ball great. Jay Haas and Bernhard Langer were 7 under. Joe Durant and Mark Brooks and David Frost. I caddied for Mark Brooks when I was 18, I think it was. And let me see here. I don't know if a couple other guys that I might know down here. Well, I know everybody on the tour, but I mean, it's just a couple other guys. I caddied for Bob Tway also, and I don't see his name down there, but he might still be playing on the regular tour. Who knows? But that was one thing I always liked, that I caddied for 2 major championship winners. Although I'd like to have caddied for them when they won the championship, because then I'd have got I don't know, what is it, 10% or something like that for the win. And 10% of $1 million is a nice little check for the caddy there. But also in ladies tour, we had the Airbus LPGA Classic, and it's presented by JTBC at RTJ Golf Trail Magnolia Grove Crossing Course in Mobile, Alabama. And Jessica Korda won with a 1-shot victory over Anna Nordquist. And then Michelle Wee, Charlie Hull, Katrina Matthew were all 1 shot back of that at 18 under. And Jenny Shen finished 6th. And then you had 3 more tied for 7th place. Lexi Thompson, she's still, 17, 18? That's amazing. They had we're talking about 11-year-old qualifying for the Ladies U.S. Open. At 11 years old. I just can't imagine that. I understand that women mature faster than guys. But at 11? I mean, that's just phenomenal. I can't imagine, a kid having that much composure at 11 years old. But, a lot of these guys, these kids come up now, they're not afraid of anything. I don't know what it is. They got the game. They, they go out there, and it's like in any of the sports. You look at NFL, you look at NBA, you look at all these young kids coming up. They're not afraid of anybody. They go right at it. And I guess that's what you have to be there. You got to feel like you're a world beater, and apparently at 11, she does. She is going to be a world beater. But I'm looking at tweets from Mike Allen. I'm not sure if in the middle of that who he's tweeting there, but I don't think I want to repeat that one. But he got in a little tussle with somebody, it looks like. So a little argument. Maybe it's for fun. Who knows? Mike's a pro gun proponent, and he tried to get some pro gun guys on his show the other night, and they banned him from his site because they thought he was pro against guns, and I had to laugh. The pro against guns banned him, and the pro for guns banned him. Like Mike said, nowhere. He's in limbo. He gonna come down there and talk to me? He's up there in his channel. I see him, but he's just all hiding out. He's maybe he's incognito. He said he was gonna cook out some steaks and have some brews today, so maybe he's in on a little bit of the suds or whatever. But we things I want to do is talk about. I'm going to do is go over. I had so much audio problems Friday that I want to do is go back over a segment. I'm going to do it later, but I got one segment I want to go over, and it was, oh god, the audio just drove me crazy. I mean, it was so. You ever do anything that you feel like everything you're doing, and it's like, God, I swear I'm doing it the right way, and it just nothing worked out. I mean, I was getting messages, oh, you're too loud, you're blowing us out, and oh, this isn't working, I can't hear it. I couldn't hear anybody on when they came on. Dog came on my show, and you couldn't hear him over the radio. Dog is a co-host for Night Talk with Joe Rocks and Jackie, and he stopped in to chat with me about a movie, and I saw it. It's on demand. I'm gonna have to watch it. I just haven't had the time. This weekend was real busy. We had beautiful weather up here. Had a storm actually roll through this afternoon. And got a little rocking out there and a little bit of lightning, and it got really wet at the golf course. We had people coming in that were just soaked. It was just, and then some guys saw it coming, and they came running for the clubhouse before it got here, which is smart because, you see any lightning, bring it in. It's not worth it. You can always go out and play later. But, we have a nice picture on the wall of a guy that was walking with his pole cart in Wisconsin that was hit by lightning, and everybody asks, what's that photo of, And the pole cart is just destroyed. But, lightning doesn't discriminate. It'll take out anybody. But I don't know if anybody saw this. There was amazing footage shot on closed-circuit TV cameras in China. It captured this little kid. I guess he wandered out onto a 1-year-old baby who managed to get out on a second-story window ledge. With help of another man, Mr. Li of Guangdong province was able to safely catch the infant as it tumbled towards the ground after falling off the ledge. Some people put down cardboard to avoid serious injuries to the baby if I fail to catch him, Lee said, according to the news. The baby avoided serious injury and returned to its anxious mother. I didn't think too much at the time. I was just afraid of failing to catch him. It's just a common instinct to do is to try to catch. When I first saw the picture, I was like, okay, who is going to film that? Who is it there trying to help him catch it? Catch the kid. I couldn't stand back with a camera and film it, but I guess it was on closed circuit TV. So, but yeah, they were talking about like it was, it made me, when I first saw the footage, I was like going, somebody would stand there and film this and not help out. But, I see my daughter posted on Twitter, bacon fries. I went to a place today. I don't know. Maybe all I need is bacon for dinner, and I've had it all day. I had bacon for breakfast, bacon, waffles. I made it all for everybody. It was my whole family. And, what's funny is they sat out there and ate while I'm cooking everything. And then I got done. And then for lunch, we stopped by, it's not Chess, but it's the opposite of Chess. I don't want to give them a plug because I don't think if they want to advertise with the show, then I will. Well, we stopped by there and, talk about rude people in the drive-through. The only thing, you want to be rude back or you want to say something, but, I don't like spit in my burger, so I was, I didn't want to say anything. But, yeah, some people are they just have no manners. I mean, just in the drive-through, and the guy's just rude as ever. But, no, we had a bacon burger for lunch, and I'm like, man, I'm hooked on this stuff or something. Val always gives me crap that, I'm a bacon junkie or whatever. Joe calls me a Facebook whore. But, no, if I had, bacon makes everything better. But, no, Here's another one. I'm a former police officer, but I got to laugh at this one. This one happened over in Manchester, England. Apparently, Great Manchester Police arrested a man who put on a pig mask, toy helmet, and a reflective jacket in order to perform comical parodies about the behavior of law enforcement officials. New Boston Stephen Piers was arrested on suspicion of impersonating a police officer. He put on a costume to call attention to how GMP officers conduct themselves during anti-fracking protests. The 46-year-old was arrested after being stopped by an officer outside a police station. But the father of four has also had his Officer 666 outfit confiscated. It says, I don't think his antagonistic, it's just a parody making fun of the GMP. Piers said, I've dressed like this at Barton Moss, in front of Swinton Police Station, and in front of Force Headquarters in Newton Health. Officers have laughed it off. Well, I don't know what they would happen over here. If you go and you wear a uniform that's mocking the police over here, you probably, if somebody would think that you're a police officer, you would probably get stopped. The one thing I worry about is people, they wear these shirts like T-shirts. They go to a police fundraiser and it says sheriff on the back and then it says fundraiser. Well, they look almost like official shirts. And, somebody that's doing some criminal activity and they see you with that, they might think you're a police officer going to arrest them or do something. So you got to really watch yourself when you wear something like that. I had a T-shirt I was going to give to my son, and it said it was from when I was a police officer in Texas, and it was when cops had came to San Antonio, and it said "Cops in San Antonio" on it, and it looked almost like it was an official shirt. So, I said, "Be careful, just watch where you wear that," But speaking of that. This happened in Rock Hills, South Carolina. Emergency respondent in South Carolina has been accused of using, you guys order that pizza, and you want that there, what is it, like they talk about Domino's 30 minutes or less? Well, he's accused of using his emergency lights on his vehicle in order to help deliver pizzas faster. Apparently of Thomas Reed of Rock Hills Rescue Squad is accused of attaching emergency lights to his own car and activating them while delivering pizzas for Pizza Hut. I guess he was a probationary member, and I say probably was, because if they find out he was really doing it, he will probably be a was member. Volunteer group that assists with water and road rescue operations. As a probationary member, Reed should be not using the lights at all, let alone to deliver pizzas. It says if Reed is found guilty of using the lights inappropriately, he will face a 30-day suspension from the squad. Rock Hill Rescue Squad Captain Joe Shackelford told the Herald Online. Hey, he was just trying to help people out. He wanted to get the pizzas there. Got to get them there quick. Hot, fast, and ready. What's that... what's that? I think it might be another pizza's line, but he's just trying to get them there quicker. So, but we're going to do is see if we can go. I'm going to try to go to my first break here. Let's see if we can get the audios to work. And once again, this is your host, Matt Hasley, and you're listening to Straight Talk. Still waiting for the hot and trendy clothing to go on sale? Well, shop Ritzy Reruns. They're located at 1612 West Locust Street in Davenport, Iowa. Phone 563-322-8684. They offer brands such as Abercrombie, Hollister, American Eagle, North Face, and many others. Ritzy's carries tons of shoes of all shapes and sizes, plus a large selection of jewelry and designer purses like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Dooney & Burke, to mention a few. So remember Ritzy reruns and like them on Facebook. It's where fashion isn't full price.
Out of the blue, you see or meet the man or woman of your dreams. You both flirt. The attraction is obviously mutual. Now what? A big fat nothing, because you were both too shy to ask for contact details. Find and contact them again for free at bluemychance.com. That's right, bluemychance.com, where people meet again.
Do you love to travel? Are you tired of the cold? Do you just want to get away? Book your next flight, hotel, car, vacation, cruise, and more at sweetohinawa.discounttravel.com. That's sweet, OHENEWAA, discounttravel.com. Invite your friends and family. Thank you for your business.
Tired of walking through those crowded shopping malls only to find out what you were looking for is in the wrong size or out of stock? Well, think Go or Go.com. That's right, Go or Go.com. Just enter what you're looking for in the search bar, and boom, there it is. Really, it's that easy. So remember, shop Go or Go.com and leave those headaches behind. Train in the art of traditional Taekwondo. Chung Kim's Black Belt Academy was opened in the Quad Cities in 1972. Teaching and training established by 9th Dan Grandmaster Chung Kim. Classes range from Little Tigers class, beginners, intermediate, and advanced level classes. Hapkido classes also available. Sign your children up and your parents train free with no contracts. For more information, call 563-359-7000 and like us on Facebook at Chung Kim's Black Belt Academy or visit us on the web at www.chungkim.com. Taekwondo is your life's path.
Get the most out of your productions by getting your music mixed and mastered by Subtrash Studios. We only use professional-grade equipment to ensure your songs sound the best it can. Come see how we can help at subtrashstudios.com. That's subtrashstudios.com.
This is Jason Merrill from the John and Jay Show every Tuesday nights at 11 Eastern on Live 365 Radio, home of the big guns.
Wow, that tiger lily on your shoulder has amazing colors.
Thanks. I just got this tattoo a week ago.
What? No way. That tattoo looks totally healed. My tattoos never looked that great after a week. What did you use on it?
It's not what I used on it, it's what I used in it.
Now you're just making fun of me. What do you mean in it?
Tattoo Rick told me that it's not only what you put on your tattoos, it's what you put in your body that also affects your tattoos.
Great. Another thing I have to change about my diet.
No, nothing like that. I take the tattoo pill.
Really? There's a pill for tattoos?
Yeah, it's called a tattoo pill. It's packed with 30 vitamins and minerals that your body needs to help operate at ideal level. It helps me before, during, and after my tattoo. Great thing is, it's made here in the United States from all natural ingredients. And for people like me that are vegetarians, the tattoo pill comes in a veggie capsule and is gluten-free.
Okay, you got me. Where do I get this tattoo pill?
TheTattooPill.com.
TheTattooPill.com?
Yes, all one word, TheTattooPill.com.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty.
We'd like to thank everybody out there, the veterans that are, everybody that's paid that ultimate sacrifice to defend this great country and to defend the freedoms that we, take for granted. Also for our family members and friends that have gone before us, that have gone and died before us, and we like to pay tribute to all of them, being Memorial Day. I wanted to do is thank everybody. It's easy to overlook, and before too long you're like, man, I can't believe it's been 10 years, or I can't believe it's been 15 years, and yet time flies and keeps on going on. But we always have to do is look back and see what helped us get to where we're going. I've had, I spent time in the military. My wife was in the military. Friends of mine in the military. My relatives have been in the military. And you, you don't really think about it. You take it for granted. That this country being free. Not everybody has the same luxury that we do of being able to do what we do. Some countries, you did what we do here, and they would treat them totally different. So it's you got to look back at it. What our men and women soldiers did for us to get us and other people around the world to where we are. And thanks. We had my son is actually 15, and he does what they call it's not the reserves, but explorers. There we go. Trying to think of the name of it. And it's like the Army Reserve, but they go once a week, and they go through and they get them to understand different things. They go on. I think every so often they go on field exercises, and kind of preps them. It's like almost like an ROTC class or program. Well, he's been doing that for a while, and he enjoys it. Well, Saturday, they went to the local Memorial Park Cemetery, and they put out flags for all the military graves. And they were also putting flags around the whole cemetery, 16-foot flags. And they were hauling them on a trailer. And the trailer was big enough to, you could park a truck on it. And I was working, and I received a phone call at work. And the guy, as I answered the phone, he told me, he said, "This is medic." And he says, "We have your son here. He's been injured. And, putting out flags at Memorial Park." Well, I mean, God, your heart just goes up into your throat because you don't know, when medics there, usually they're not there because, something just minor happened. Well, very luckily, it could have been a very bad accident. They had 10 or so people on the back of this trailer when they're hauling it around, putting out flags, and the trailer came off of the truck, and they were going up a hill, turning a corner, and started going down the hill on its own, and went crashing over tombstones and everything through the cemetery, and ended up running into a tree. And it's very lucky that it hit the tree. Otherwise, if it wouldn't, it would have kept on going. Would probably hit 2 parked cars, and just lucky there was nobody in the cemetery visiting their former loved one, because it would have killed them. I mean, if it would have went over them, and they were bailing off the trailer, trying to keep from getting injured, because they didn't know what's going to happen. And he ended up jamming his wrist and injuring his hand. But to get that phone call, you hear, "Oh, your son has been injured," and the first thing you think of is, "Oh my God," because when you're single and you're 25, you're bulletproof. I was a police officer at that time. You don't think of anything happening to you. You think you're going to be young forever. You think you're going to. Then when you start having kids, you start peeling off the onion, as you call it, where you start to understand that, hey, you see your parents are finally, when you were that age at 21, your parents were at what age you are now, and you're thinking about, wow, it's. For too long, life has passed you, so you got to live it for what you got. Enjoy it, because we're not promised tomorrow. But no, it's today is a day you got to look back and you got to thank everybody that has gone before you, or remember people that your loved ones that passed on. I like to talk about I was raised Catholic, I growing up, and I said, asked me, do you believe in ghosts? I said, well, heck yes, I do. But I'm trying to get the ghost guys on it, and I've been still trying, and they keep snubbing me. I'm trying to get them on my show. 20 minutes, come on. Wouldn't take them that long. But I'd love to get any of the guys. We actually, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about it later, but I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Right. The Right is a movie with, I'm going to have to look it up. I'm so bad with names on actors, but let's see here. I think it's Anthony Hopkins. Let's see here. It is. I'm looking it up right now. Yep, Anthony Hopkins. Colin O'Donoghue is the other one. And then Alice Braga. And, I'm not sure how he pronounced it, but he Ciaran Hinds. And, we'll talk about it. That movie kind of gave me chills. It was one of those that just really freak you out. And the reason why the movie gave me chills, it was not because of the situation. Have you ever watched The Exorcist? If you watch that now, you look at The Exorcist and you go, that's terrible. You know, I mean, but I mean, you realize is what special effects they had. It's like watching Jaws back then, or watching Star Trek to what they do now. I mean, God, the special effects are unreal. Well, Anthony Hopkins is just, he plays that role so well. And, you know what, that movie gave me the chills because it's apparently based on a true story. There is a priest that, which is Michael Kovac, plays that's who Colin O'Donoghue plays, and he is a priest that goes over to the Vatican to learn how to do exorcisms and stuff like that. And he kind of trails Anthony Hopkins, and he really doesn't believe. He doesn't believe in, you know, kind of, you know, not quite sure whether it's, you know, real or not or whatever. And he just hasn't. I guess his mom died when he was really young, so he just kind of went against it. He kind of went against, you know, and oh man, if you haven't seen it, watch it. Watch it on a Friday night or just late night with the lights off, and I guarantee you, if you're into anything like that, it'll freak you out. And good movie. I you know, I watched that one. I'm trying to think. There's a few other ones. If it's based on a true story, then I enjoy watching it. There was another one with I'm trying to think of her name. She is always on Paranormal State. Great lady. I mean, just she's a psychic medium, and let me see here. I gotta look these up because I'm just I'm terrible at remembering their names. I don't know what it is. It's just let's see. Well, Chip Coffey's one of the psychic mediums, but he's not on this. Let me see. Gotta look this. I know it when I see it. I'm going to be, oh yeah. But no, she. They did a movie about her, and it was actually based on a true story, and it was talking about how going back. Well, I have I talked about Friday that I was going to do this segment today, and it is. These are. Let me see if I can get them up here and find out. Let's see. I think this might be the one here. These are cases of demonic possessions. And let's see here. I got to get to the... make sure I'm on the right one here. Nope, that's... Oops, I'm not sure. Nope, wrong one. Again. Oh. No, let's see. I guess I'm on the wrong one here. Oh, that was the one that was a drinkable sunscreen. I was like, that's crazy. You know, you think about the technology, you know, what they do, but I can't imagine what that would taste like. So, here we go. I think this is the right one. Here we go. These are 10 terrifying cases of demonic possession. I'm not sure on their proper pronunciation, but 1906, Clara Germana Sella was a Christian student at St. Michael's Mission in Natal, South Africa. For some reason, Sella prayed. Nuns who attended to Sella reported that she produced horrible animalistic sounds. She also levitated 5 feet in the air. That would be a little freaky. Eventually 2 priests were brought in to perform an exorcism. Sella tried to strangle one of the priests with his stole, and over 170 people witnessed her levitating as priests read scriptures. Over a course of 2 days, the rite of exorcism successfully drove the dark spirits from her body. Yeah, that's, I don't know if you believe it or not, but I mean, you take a look at the way the world is nowadays. If you can't believe there's not a presence of evil, it's there. I mean, like look what happened in California. I mean, it's sad to see what happened. I feel bad for the families. I hate to see somebody try to capitalize on it because it was but the issue is mental health. They need to do is get, people talked to them 2 weeks ago. They did everything they could have done. I mean, but the only thing they could have, his family tried to get him help. Just something's not there. There's a disconnect or whatever. But, when you see stuff like this happen, and it's happening more often, and it's not necessarily it's because of, it's something sad to see, but I blame it on a lot of it on the devil, using his powers to manipulate people. And some people are easily swayed if they feel that they're you get the guy that's feel left out or feel like he's shunned or whatever, and they'll turn to other things to try to get attention. It's sad that that's how you go to that route, but here's another one. This is number 2, the Annalise Michael. Annalise Michael was a controversial case as well as the subject of many fictional accounts of her tragic story. Most notably, the 2005 courtroom drama, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Another movie that was out. 16-year-old Annalise Michael had a history of epilepsy and mental illness, for which she often been treated for psychiatric hospital. However, in 1973, it might be, I think it's Michelle. Michelle became suicidal, spurned all religious artifacts, drank her own urine, began to hear voices. Medicine did nothing to help the girl, who begged her family to bring a priest because she believed she was possessed by demons. Though her request was rejected, 2 local priests secretly began treating her with exorcism rites. Meanwhile, her parents stopped treating her epilepsy and mental disorder. She was dead within a year. Michelle had almost 70 exorcisms performed on her over the course of 10 months. She refused to eat and often talked of dying as a martyr. Many attempted exorcisms were recorded. Annalise Michelle died from emaciation and starvation. Consequently, her parents and the priest responsible were charged with neglect homicide. That's another one. Number 3, Roland Doe, and it says Roland Doe / Robbie Mannheim, known as the real story behind the novel and the Hollywood movie The Exorcist. The tale of a 14-year-old Roland Doe is one of the most notorious stories of demonic possession. In fact, Roland Doe is not his real name. It's a pseudonym assigned to him by the Catholic Church in order to prevent the boy's privacy. In late 1940s, Doe's encouraged him to use a Ouija board or Doe's aunt. Many speculate after the death, the boy attempted to contact his aunt with the Ouija board, an act which opened the door for which the demons who wished to possess him. The possession started with a strange sound like dripping water that no one could place. Eventually, religious artifacts began to quake and fly off walls. Unexplained footsteps, scratching noise could be heard around the home. Scratches began to appear on the boy's body, including words that seemed to have been carved into his flesh by unseen claws. The boy spoke in tongues and guttural voice and levitated in the air with his body contorted in pain. His family brought in a Catholic priest who determined that the boy was possessed by evil spirits and needed an exorcism. The exorcism ritual was performed over 30 times, with the boy injuring the priest many times throughout. When at last the rite was successful, the entire hospital heard Doe's cries of bestial anguish and reported a horrible sulfuric odor hanging in the air. I've seen this one. They did a documentary about it, and they were talking about, they thought this kid was doing it to himself, but they would actually see the words start to form on his body. Right now, I don't know. Just talking about it, I got goosebumps standing. All the hair on my arm is standing up right now. And I don't say that as just to be funny, but it's. I always joke with my daughter about getting out the Ouija board, and she always nope. And I'm like, come on, let's get out the Ouija board, and what we'll do is we'll start playing the Ouija board. I mean, I had one when I was a kid. I don't think we ever did anything with it. We tried to do the what do you call it? Where you take 10 deep breaths and they hold you around the waist and you pass out. We were all kids at the time. We did that, which is stupid because everybody would fake, and pretend like they passed out. Well, they did it with me, and it was like, whoop, and I dropped to the floor like a rock. And they said I was out just a matter of seconds. Well, I can, to this day, I don't know if you guys got to be rock and rollers, you got to remember Molly Hatchet. Molly Hatchet had these, the horses with the, all the garb and everything, like something you'd see out of medieval days. And I can remember them riding down this dirt road at me. I was standing in the middle of the road, and there was like 6 or 8 of them coming down the road, and I could hear them coming, and all the armor and everything that they have on them and everything, and they're riding, and it's in full color. I don't know why, because normally, I don't know, you don't dream in color or whatever, but they're coming at me, and I could see them, and it seemed like I was out for minutes, and I was only out for seconds, they told me. It's kind of the weird things that happened that, no, and then after that, I was nauseous. I wanted to throw up. I just felt like I was sick. And, it was just really weird. And so, it was something we did, and we never did it after that. Because it was just after that, I was freaked out. I was scared. I don't know what was going on, what the dream was about, or how it, came about. But, there's some crazy things you do as kids, and we're all sitting around, and I had, I have 4 sisters, and I have a brother, and my sister, which it happens to be, and not till tomorrow, but my sister and brother's birthday. So happy birthday, Kathy! Happy birthday, Mike! Early. I know they're not listening because. My brother always finds a reason not to come on my show, but my sister used to do is, she would lay on her back and stick her feet up, and I'd sit on her feet. And she'd launch me at the ceiling when I was a young kid, and I'm really surprised I don't have more broken bones and everything. So, my one sister, who is the one who's just older than me. She shoved me off a cliff, and the only thing that saved me was I landed into in a baby carriage that was put out in the trash. I don't know, I was probably maybe 2 years old, walking around, and she just walked over and she went, whoop, and just shoved me from behind, and off the cliff I went. But no, it's yep. You think about some of the things that happen, and I try to explain that to my kids now. I said, there will be a time when you love your sister. Right now, it's not that time, but there will be a time when you'll love your sister. And I got to the point where you get older and you just you overlook it, and you just you love your family, and that's the way it should be. My brother and I, we fought like cats and dogs growing up. I mean, it was unbelievable. He's 3 years older than I am, so he beat the crap out of me all the time until I got old enough, and then it kind of quit. But in 2000, here's another one. It's called Julia. This is the fourth story that I got for you. But in 2008, Dr. I can't even talk. Dr. Richard E. Gallagher, board-certified psychiatrist and associate professor of clinical psychiatry at New York Medical College, documented the case of a patient nicknamed Julia, whom he deduced was possessed by demons. It's a rare scientific and psychiatrist that would acknowledge the possibility of possession. Typically, doctors think possession is either fraudulent or a result of mental illness. But Dr. Gallagher personally observing items flying around the room, that would kind of help. Julia levitating out the bed, speaking in tongues, and knowing things about people around her that she could not have known. Here's they said there's an excerpt of Gallagher's statement. It says, periodically in our presence, Julia would go into a trance state of recurring nature, writes Gallagher. Mentally troubled individuals often dissociate, but Julia's trances were accompanied by an unusual phenomenon. Out of her mouth would come various threats, taunts, scatological language, phrases like, leave her alone, you idiot, she's ours, leave her, you imbecile priest, or just leave. The tones of the voice differently marked from Julia's own. It varied, sometimes sounding guttural or vaguely masculine. At other high points, high pitch, most common comments during the trances or other subsequent exorcisms displayed a marked contempt for anything religious or sacred. I think that that would be a good one. It's like, I know you ever watch these I don't like watching the hack 'em up movies, like the guy running around Jason with the axe and everything like that. Because if I'm there and I got my car and the power goes out, the last thing I'm doing is getting in the shower out in the middle of the woods at night because we have no power. Oh, let's go take a shower. Oh, Billy and Jimmy just got killed down by the creek. Well, let's go take a shower. No. I mean, how stupid is that? I get in the car and I leave, so not tell me twice. But yeah, it's, they have to do is have a storyline, but it kind of seems somewhat real. This is Arnie Cheyenne Johnson. This is our fifth one that we're talking about right here. Known as the Demon Murder Trial, the case of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson is the first known court case in the United States during which the defense attempted to prove that the defendant was not guilty by reason of possession. In 1981, Arnie Cheyenne Johnson murdered his landlord, Allard Bono, in Connecticut. Johnson's attorney argued that his actions indicate a pattern of erratic behavior that had begun when Johnson was a child. Johnson's family even consulted with demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. That's who I was looking for, Lorraine. Yep, saying that the child had been taunted and harassed by unknown entities for most of his life. They also asserted that his evil doings resulted not from psychological disorder, but from demonic possession. Ultimately, the judge ruled that demonic possession was not a valid defense against first-degree murder. Johnson was convicted and served mere 5 years of his 10-year to 20-year sentence. So, apparently the judge didn't see anything flying around. If the judge would have, maybe he would have, thought of something else, but or might have changed the judge's mind. But right now it is time for our next break. So let's see here. What do we want to do? Let's play a little bit of.
Whether building, expanding, or remodeling, the name in site work is Savino Contracting. Experts in demolition, excavation, sewer and septic tank installation, and site prep. Get in touch on Twitter at Savino Contract or call 508-989-0960 or email to evsavino@yahoo.com. Savino Contracting has what it takes to get the job done.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at Route106Motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. Route106Motors.com.
Crown Military Miniatures celebrates this holiday season with an enormous selection of new and vintage collector quality toy soldiers. You have to see the photorealistic detail on the World War II armor or the sheer volume of the figures from the American Civil War to the Zulu Wars to the Jacobite Rebellion. If soldiers were there, Crown Military Miniatures has it covered in little men cast and pewter. Veterans, active duty personnel, and military enthusiasts, you have to check out Crown Military Miniatures. Visit them online at crowntoysoldiers.com or visit their store at 88 North Broadway in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire. In the morning, you have bacon, you have eggs, pancakes, and that nice big tall cup of coffee. But now, every Monday morning, you can start your week out right with On the Air Monday Morning Brew, starring yours truly, Mike Allen. Hey, that's me. Wake up in the morning, get a nice cup of coffee, kick back before you start your week, and let me send you on your way. Monday's getting a bad rap. Let's turn that around. On the Air with Mike Allen, Monday Morning Brew, every Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio.
So rise and shine.
Christian Pleva is Boston's premier wedding and personal photographer. Turning his passion into a life's work, he has dedicated himself to bringing his talents to capture the special memories of the beginning of your life's journey together. Christian uses the most updated equipment and software to handle any sized wedding event, from full church and reception to a small intimate ceremony in the courthouse. Contact him today at www.christianplevaimages.com for booking information and available dates.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
Women's and lemons, your time is now. Begin your adventure, live your dream. 50 is the new 30, so quintastic women. Get it for yourself. Teens and young adults, get it for your mums. It's coming in fall 2013. Sign up for email notification of release at VIPFALO at AOL.com. Yeah, Women's and Lemons is everywhere. Everybody's talking about Women's and Lemons. Sign up for VIPFALO at AOL.com now.
Straight Talk. And once again, hope you're having a good Memorial Day. It is winding down, as I said earlier. Remember, today is we're paying tribute to all of our veterans out there. I tried to get Val to come on. I figured she would have some spooky demonic possession stories, from Trinidad and stuff like that. But I'm going to give you what she told me. She says, I was just headed to bed, and I called her a wimp. I told her it was only 10 o'clock. She says, well, it takes a couple of hours to fall asleep, if you know what I mean. And I called her a naughty girl. So your guess is as good as mine what she's talking about. But and she's probably not listening, so I don't have to worry about her giving me any crap for that. But I usually give her a hard time on her show, but I always say, yeah, whenever it's my show, it's like a ghost town for her. She's gone. So she's nowhere to be found, as they would say, like normal. We were talking about cases of demonic possession. I don't know if I enjoy it, but I'm really intrigued by some cases of demonic possession, because you'd like to see it happen, but I don't know if I could handle it if it really did. A poltergeist or something with somebody levitating off the bed, kind of like in Ghostbusters. That said, it didn't bother me there, but when Sigourney Weaver levitated off the bed, but I thought she was hot, so she could levitate anytime for me. But no, and to really see something, flying around and levitating like that would be a little probably unnatural for somebody. It's kind of like, you don't expect anything like that to happen. So if it did, it's not something you normally would comprehend. But apparently, in 1976. The people of New York City were terrorized by a serial killer known as the Son of Sam. Or the 44 caliber killer, they called him. For more than a year, killer led police on a wild goose chase, leaving behind taunting notes at the crime scene. 6 people were killed and 7 seriously wounded in the Summer of Sam. When the killer was finally apprehended, he was identified as David Berkowitz. Berkowitz confessed to all the shootings and claimed that he was commanded to kill by a demon. Berkowitz did not claim to be possessed himself. However, he claimed that the neighbor's dog was possessed, and the dog ordered him to perform killings. Berkowitz was sentenced to 6 life sentences, and in the mid-90s, he issued an amendment to his confession, claiming that he had indeed been a member of a satanic cult that orchestrated the incidents as part of a ritual murder. You think of what's his name? He's doing Life. I don't think he'll ever get out, but here's another one, Michael Taylor. Well, we'll probably get to him later. Michael Taylor and his wife Christine lived in a small town in Great Britain called Ossett. The couple was very religious. They had joined a Christian prayer group led by Marie Robinson. At one meeting in 1974, Christian Taylor accused her husband and Robinson of having an affair, which were both wholly denied. Michael Taylor then spewed obscenities and began acting extremely erratic out of character, leading witness to think he was seen possessed by the devil or by evil. After months of crazy behavior, Taylor eventually consulted with the clergy, who performed an exorcism. The exorcism lasted over 24 hours, and the priest involved claimed to have removed 40 demons from the man's body. However, before he left, the priest warned him that the demons of murder remained dormant in his soul. As soon as Taylor arrived home, he brutally murdered his wife and their dog. He was later found wandering the streets covered in blood. At his trial, he was acquitted by reason of insanity. Yeah, that's a little tough to take, that one. In 1778, English tailor George Lukens claimed to be possessed. The man would often sing in a voice and language that was not his own. And finally, neighbors concerned for his increasingly frightening behavior reached out to the church to help the man. Lukens was sent to the hospital for over 20 months, but doctors could not help him. His caregivers discharged him, and even more convinced the affliction was demonic in nature. During his possession, angry, violent Lukens reportedly claimed that he was the devil, barked like a dog, and sang hymns backwards. In 1778, after Lukens claimed he was possessed by several demons that could only be driven out by clergymen, the church got involved. 7 priests assembled at a temple church, and they performed an exorcism. When the ceremony was over, police claimed that the man had been delivered by the demons who possessed him, and Lukens exclaimed, "Blessed Jesus." Lukens then praised God, recited the Lord's Prayer, and thanked the priests. Oh, and here's one, Anna Eklund, the early possession. By this time, she was just 14 years old, a girl from Erling, Iowa. I'm not even sure where Erling, Iowa is at, but Anna Eklund began showing signs of demonic possession. The girl had been raised a devout Catholic. However, her father and her aunt, who practiced witchcraft, allegedly cursed the girl routinely and used herbs to taint her food. Soon she could not tolerate the religious artifacts, became sexually depraved, and could not enter a church. In 1912, the girl underwent successful exorcism. After being cured of her possession, her father and aunt prayed to Satan for her to suffer even more. Within a year, the girl had become possessed by multiple entities, many of whom are said to be the same spirits who possessed Annalise Michel. In 1928, Eklund again sought the help from the church. She was placed in a convent where her exorcism would take place. The girl's behavior worsened while in the care of the nuns. When the nuns would bless her food before entering her room, Eklund could not sense the blessing. She would kiss the nuns, throw the food, or hiss at the nuns and throw her food on the floor. She would tolerate food that was not blessed. Witness testified to seeing the girl speak and understand foreign languages she had never heard before. They also claimed that she defied gravity by levitating and clinging to the wall. The girl was clairvoyant and often vomited and spit at the priest. Her eyes bulged from her body as she was so bloated that she nearly broke the iron bed on which she lay. After 23 days and 3 complete exorcism rituals, the clergyman finally declared her free of demons who had possessed her. And that's the one from The Exorcist. That would be a little freaky. And here's the last one that I have is Pope Francis exorcises a boy. It says the Catholic Church performs thousands of exorcisms each year. Pope Francis has said that he believes that Satan is real and the battle against evil is one of the most, or he must fight every day. In May of 2013, the newly elected Pope allegedly performed a brief exorcism live on camera. As he was moving down the line of disabled people, offering blessings, the Pontiff paused before a boy in a wheelchair. Grasping the boy by the head, the boy shuddered and gasped before going limp. You know, it would be amazing to see that. Maybe if somebody would to actually see that, maybe that might, you've seen these shows, Scared Straight. Show them what what can happen if the devil takes you over. So it's one of those situations. A lot of people go, that's hogwash. Well, it's like the old saying is, I'd rather believe and find out I was wrong than not believe and find out I was wrong. So, because you can't change if you found out the opposite way. So, but what I want to do is, currently right now, it is time for our celebrity birthdays. I was supposed to have Megan call in and do my celebrity birthdays, but we're going to do it once we get the phone patch fixed so she can call it in. So I'm going to do them for her tonight. All you fans out there, John Wayne. John Wayne's birthday today. He passed away in 1979, but John, he was 72. Happy birthday, John Wayne. Lenny Kravitz, 50. Helena Bonham Carter. She was in the movie, Harry Potter. She was the one that was the kind of the psychotic one that was held in the prison. She got out. Stevie Nicks. She's 66. Scott Disick, 31, reality star. Miles Davis passed away in 1991. His birthday would have been today. Sally Ride passed away in 2012. She was an astronaut. Brandy Cyrus, 27, TV actress. Jay Silverheels passed away in 1980. He was a TV actor. James Arness. Oh, yeah. Watched many, many movies with James Arness. He played the big sheriff. Passed away in 2011. Hank Williams Jr. Oh, yeah. Passed away. No, not passed away. What am I talking about? He's 65. He, always known for the, are you ready for some football? Yeah, big time singer. Philip Thomas, 65, TV actor. I think he was Tubbs on Miami Vice. Pam Grier, 65, movie actress. Matt Stone, he's a screenwriter. He's 43. Nikki Lynn Icox, 39, TV actress. God, she doesn't look 39. She looks like about 20. Raina Telgemeier. She's 37, a cartoonist. Pretty cool. Peggy Lee, she's a singer, passed away in 2002. Al Jolson, movie actor, passed away in 1950. Ashley Massaro, 35. She's a wrestler. I guarantee you Mike Allen will know who she is. Megan Carpenter. She's 13, a movie actress. Her face looks familiar, but I can't think what movie she'd be out of. Bobcat Goldthwait, 52, comedian. Brent Musburger, he's a sportscaster. He's 75. Jeannie Francis, 52. She's a TV actress. Peter Cushing, movie actor, passed away in 1994. Let's see here. Let's see. Jayheim, 36, singer. Levon Helm, passed away in 2012, drummer. Astrid Burgess Frisbee. Hopefully she got some Frisbee money coming in. But she's 28. She's a movie actress. Jack Kevorkian passed away in 2011. Noted, a.k.a. the Doctor of Death. Lisa Nemi, 58, dancer. Elizabeth Harnoy, TV actress, 35, very pretty. Dorothea Lange, journalist, passed away in 1965. Frankie Manning, passed away in 2009. He was a dancer. Luca Toni, soccer player. He's 37. Mick Ronson, guitarist, passed away in 1993. Masaharu Morimoto, 59. He's a chef. Menno Mages, screenwriter. He's 60. God, he doesn't look 60. Matthew Robinson, 36, director. Daryl Evans, baseball player, 67. Kay Hagan, 61. She's a politician. Ziggy Ullman, trumpet player, passed away in 1968. Juliana Rose Mariello, 23, Broadway actress. She's very pretty. It says Robert Morley, 1992, passed away. He was a movie actor. Jay Feely, 38. He's a football player, former Jets. I don't know if he's still with the Jets or not. Fabiana Semperabum, 30-year-old model. Oh, she is gorgeous. Doug Hutchinson, 54, TV actor. Immense Kalnins, 73, composer. And I just got poked by Tattoo Rick, and he says Morimoto is God at sushi. So, and Joel Selwood, 26, a rugby player. I don't know if is he on that one show that does that one chef program. I don't know. They had one where they were doing the. I don't know. I don't watch too much TV. So the Iron Chef. There we go. Yep. Yeah, it's. I wish I could cook as well as they do. I like cooking, so I'm not quite on the level that Val's on. God, you listen to Val talk, and she almost makes it sound orgasmic the way she cooks. So, and maybe it is. Who knows? But on this day, and today Memorial Day, miscellaneous history here. We got. Let's see. I don't want to go too far back, but let's go back. How about 1969? The Apollo 11 astronauts returned to Earth after a successful 8-day dress rehearsal for the first manned moon landing. In 1972, Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty SALT I was signed by the U.S. and USSR. The short-term agreement put a freeze on the testing and deployment of intercontinental and submarine-launched ballistic missiles for 5 years. 1973, Cassie Schmidt set American women's javelin record with a throw of 207 feet 10 inches. 1975, American stuntman Evel Knievel suffered severe spinal injuries in Britain when he crashed while attempting to jump 13 buses in a car. Oh, in his car. I think he's broke every bone in his body twice, or whatever they said. I mean, he's just amazing. I don't know what makes you want to keep doing that after you get that kind of injuries. 1977, George H. Willig was arrested after he scaled the South Tower of New York's World Trade Center. It took him 3.5 hours. In 1978, the first legal casino in eastern U.S. opened in Atlantic City, New Jersey. In 1987, Sri Lanka launched Operation Liberation. It was an offensive against the Tamil rebellion in Jafra. In 1988, the Edmonton Oilers won their fourth NHL Stanley Cup in 5 seasons. They swept the series 4-0 against the Boston Bruins. And U.S. President Clinton renewed trade privileges for China and announced that his administration would no longer link China's trade status with its human rights record. 1994 that happened. In 1998, U.S. Supreme Court ruled Ellis Island was mainly in New York or New Jersey, not New York. Whatever that had to do with it. 1998, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that police officers in high-speed chases are liable for bystander injuries only if their actions shock the conscious. And 1998, Grand Princess cruise ship made its inaugural cruise. The ship measured 109 tons and cost approximately $450 million, making it the largest, most expensive cruise ship ever built. Wow. Speaking of that, speaking of NHL, talking about the scores here, let's see if we got an update on the... Currently, right now, with 6:34 left to go in the third period, it's 4-2 Kings over the Blackhawks. And the NBA scores, let's see, here we go. Let's give a little update on that one. Final, Heat beat the Pacers 102-90. And a little bit of update on the Major League Baseball. See what we got here. Let's see. Red Sox beat the Braves 8-6. Marlins 3-2 over the Nationals. White Sox beat the Indians 6-2. Cubs beat the Giants 8-4. Mariners beat the Angels 5-1. Phillies beat the Rockies 9-0. Dodgers beat the Reds 4-3. Diamondbacks beat the Padres 7-5. Pirates beat the Mets 5-3. Orioles beat the Brewers 7-6. Rangers beat the Twins 7-2. Athletics dumped on the Tigers 10-0. Yankees beat the Cardinals 6-4. Blue Jays beat the Rays 10-5. And the only last one going, it's the bottom of the ninth. Astros are beating the Royals 9-2. Looks like they might have that one pretty well wrapped up. So that's our last update for that. Come on, Hawks. Blackhawks, you got 6 minutes left. Let's see if you can win pulling out. Tied up and going a little bit of overtime. But I was going to talk about ER stories that I ran across. But before we get into that, I want to go over this day in music history too. Let's see here. We're going to go back. I think that's music history. Oh, here we go. Wrong one. In 1969, John Lennon and Yoko Ono began their second Bed In for Peace in Montreal. 1973, Deep Purple's single "Smoke on the Water" was released. And I just got another friend request, Joe Rocks. So, Joe, trying to catch up to me? You're not doing a very good job. 1974, in London, 1,000 people needed medical treatment, and a 14-year-old died when a crowd lost control at a David Cassidy concert. Yeah, David Cassidy. I just can see that, just riding at one of those. It just amazes me. I could think maybe like a Motley Crue or something like that, but David Cassidy. But 1987, Jill Jones' self-titled debut was released. In 1988, Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Cats opened in Moscow with a British and American cast. In 1994, Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley were married in Dominican Republic. They were divorced in January 1996. 1995, Flavor Flav, Public Enemy, was sentenced to 3 months in jail for firing a gun at a neighbor in his New York apartment. 1998, the Coca-Cola jingle by Big Bad Voodoo Daddy was aired. Hard to believe that's this day in music history. But 1999, the Manic Street Preachers refused to play a concert because Queen Elizabeth II was present. The group had vowed never to perform for the monarchy because they considered it an outdated institution. In 1999, it was announced that Backstreet Boys' album Millennium had sold 1.13 million units in its first week of release. Wow. Well, let's see here. I wanted to do we're going to take a quick break. It'll be our last break of the night. And I got to wake my iPad up here. But we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to go over some ER stories here. So let me see. What do we want to play? How about a little bit?
Listen up. Are you tired of being tired? Looking for that extra boost? Do yourself a favor and visit buylimitlessenergy.com to learn about limitless energy. That's buylimitlessenergy.com for limitless energy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. buylimitlessenergy.com. That's buylimitlessenergy.com. So stop wasting your life. Get limitless energy now.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Do you love film? Do you want to star in one this summer? Check out OrangeLeafFilms.com, an indie film company made for making moments last. This summer, Orange Leaf Films' new film, Sin, a story of a modern take on the 7 deadly sins, is coming soon. To learn more about being in the film or helping the production crew, go to OrangeLeafFilms.com for more details.
Do you love to travel? Are you tired of the cold? Do you just want to get away? Book your next flight, hotel, car, vacation, cruise, and more at SweetOhinawa.discounttravel.com. That's SweetOhENEWAA discounttravel.com. Invite your friends and family. Thank you for your business. Are you looking to buy prescription eyeglasses? Family owned and operated iFramePros.com is your online store for prescription eyeglasses. Select the eyewear of your choice from our variety of frames, fill out the prescription information, and place your order in no time. After this quick and easy process, you'll receive your prescription glasses in a few days. All major credit cards accepted. Visit us at iFramePros.com. That's EYEFramePros.com. See what you are missing.
Tired of walking through those crowded shopping malls only to find out what you were looking for is in the wrong size or out of stock? Well, think Go or Go.com. That's right, Go or Go.com. Just enter what you're looking for in the search bar and boom, there it is. Really, it's that easy. So remember, shop Go or Go.com and leave those headaches behind.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
Coming into the home stretch here of our show here. I want to do is thank all of our sponsors out there, especially xunity.tv. It's TV made simple. You can play games, share photos, chat with friends. social media, enjoy live TV from around the globe, and much more. Keep up to date with all your sports, latest movies, comics, in fact, all media. Run Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, Skype, Twitter, or anything else you can find at the Google Play Store. Remember, xunity.tv. Also, Canal Consulting. Canal provides a variety of services for all your business needs, such as payroll services, employee management, commercial funding. Remember, premium business services without a contract, and a name you can trust. So, take down this number, 781-928-9265, 100% money-back guarantee, and they will match any competitor's offer. So, we're coming across quite a few platforms here, but if you'd like to reach us and interact with the show, you can do it live on Facebook at Armed Radio 1, or you can reach us on Twitter at Armed Radio 1. I'd give it out our number, if you want. It's 1-866-225-5401. I would have to do is kind of do a little relay. They're not going to be able to hear you live over the air because I don't have my patch cables for my phone yet, and hopefully I'll have that tomorrow. And we'll have it ready for Friday for a little freeform Friday. But we have multiple ways you can contact us. You can listen to us live on multiple platforms. And you can also catch mine and other great show hosts on ARM Radio Global on Spreaker.com/ARM Radio. So if you want to do is listen to us and you take us to work with you, we'd love to have you do is play us throughout the day. You know, it's 60s, 70s, 80s, a little bit of 90s, and maybe a little sprinkle of, to jazz it up, so you see stuff from nowadays. But if you want to listen to our shows, listen to us live. Got a great lineup of shows. We're called The Usual Suspects on Monday, and they got Mike Allen starts off Monday morning with Morning Brew. He starts out at 6 a.m. Central Time. And then you got Afternoon Bites with Tara and Tattoo Rick. And then myself, I come in with Straight Talk on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. And then on Tuesdays, you got Talk Time with Val and Eastema. The hot talk for the hot topic. Val's on 7 to 9 Central Time. And then you got the John and Jay and Mike show. And I'm not quite sure what they're naming it this week, but they got a great show. Very funny to listen to. I really enjoy it. I laugh. I need to get some other co-hosts in here to help me out. But, yeah, they seem like they have a lot of fun together. It sounds, I enjoy listening to it. And they fall right behind Val, but they're on Eastern Time. So for most of their listeners, they're on at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 to midnight. And then on Wednesday nights, you got On the Air with Mike Allen. Mike, he likes to do all the stuff and get all the guys all riled up. And so, I've never seen a guy get banned from the guys against guns and the guys for guns. He got banned from both sides. They think that he's going to fight with them and argue with them, but actually, he wants to get them on the show just to hear their point of view. He'll let them talk, let them state their point of view, but none of them want to. They all think it's all, going to be some setup for them, but they get their chance to voice their opinion, but they don't want to do it. So, but then on Thursday night, you got Talk Time with Val and Eastham again. She's back 7 to 9. And I'm not sure what her topic's going to be about this week. Maybe some body function or whatever that you're doing or whatever. Something that will be going on. Maybe Tales of the Kama Sutra or something like that. I don't know. But and then on following right after Val, you got Night Talk with Joe Rocks, Jackie and the Dog. And they're on from 10 p.m. to midnight. And then I come on Friday night with Straight Talk with Matt Hasley, and I'm on again at 9 p.m. Central Time. So we got a great lineup of shows, but I'm going to do a segment that I did actually Friday, but my audio was so bad that I'm going to cover over a little bit of that. But first I'm going to do is talk about a University of Tennessee frat got suspended for pouring hot sauce on its pledges' genitals. I mean, I don't know how bad you want to be in a frat, but if they told me they were going to pour hot sauce on me like that, I'd have been, I guess I'm staying in the dorms, you know. Yeah, I would have been, I'm out of here. So I don't want to be purposely or permanently disfigured or something because they wanted to do something to me. I always remember, was it old school or whatever, when they were doing the bricks. I had to laugh when they were dropping the bricks off the ledge. And the one guy dropped it down the manhole. But, no, that just, just make you cringe to think of that. You know. Here's kind of a neat story. A blind football player has a shot at making a team with the Tulane Green Wave. Despite facing long odds, a legally blind football player from Massachusetts has a good shot at playing at the next level at Tulane University this fall. Aaron Golub was starting long snapper at Newton South High School for the past 2 seasons, despite having no vision in his left eye and very limited vision in his right. A view that can be replicated by making a fist with a hole the size of a dime. That's just amazing. Hope he does good. I'd like to see him do that, and make it on. It's just going to be very tough. We got a friend of mine. He's a friend of my family. I've known him for almost ever, and he actually says, tell him I'm hung like Mike just posted a Facebook. Tell him I'm hung like an Oriental porn star. So, but no, they friend of the family. He is actually legally blind, and he can't see. It's like taking your fist and putting it up in front of both your eyes, and you only see peripheral around it. He can't see anything straight on, and he rides a moped. And I'm like, it's scary to watch him ride it. I don't know if he's supposed to be riding it, but he does. And it's just like, ooh. And you watch him going down the road, and you're like, oh, my God. And you just can't follow him because you're afraid he's going to run into a parked car. And all of a sudden, last second, round and round it goes. And I'm like, oh, my God. I guess he just wanted to see if I'd do it. Well, I'm not afraid to say anything on the air. Come on, Mike. You know me by now. Come on down to the channel. You want to talk? But this is, all right. All right, ladies, listen up to this. A new brand of Japanese cookie. It's not exactly being marketed in a subtle way, but the makers of F-cup cookies claim that women who eat them will see an increase in breast size. The cookie contains Pueraria mirifica, a plant extract from Thailand, and women are supposed to eat 2 cookies a day in order to see results. According to product's website, the Pueraria mirificav is also found in an edible breast enhancer called Bust Up Gum. The cookie comes in 2 flavors, soy milk or pralines and chocolate. Oh, which one do you think you want? Yeah. And each one of them is 70 calories. So make sure you get some of your... it says, in case you're wondering, an F cup in Japan is similar to a double D cup in the United States. He says, I can't hear you. So I don't know what he means, he can't hear me. What are you talking about? You can't hear me. You need to turn your radio on. I can. My meters are all going, and it's going in live 365. So, Maybe Mike's just messing with me. So, apparently he can hear me, but nope. So go out there and get your F cup cookies. What are they called? But let me see here. Oh, here's a cat, and this cat has to be. It's hard to believe it's in New Zealand, but the cat brought home 5 grams of marijuana in a little bag, I guess. Brought it home to its owner. So yeah, that's what they say. The cat brought it home, but I bet it actually somebody else might have had it, and the cat ended up having it. But this is a story. All right, let me see. Here we go. I want to talk about the ER visits. These were ER visits, documented ER visits, and these are kind of crazy. I want you to hear these, and you tell me whether you think these are good or not or whatever. He went into the room, and I couldn't hear you. He says, "No, I'm in bed." So Mike's listening from his bed. That really makes me sound good. Yeah. But all right, maybe I get him to laugh a little bit before you guys go to sleep. I want to end the show off with some good stories here. But this is my favorite story. A neighborhood. God, I can't even talk. A neighbor of a newlywed couple was worried when she didn't hear the rather noisy neighbors for a while. A few days later, she peered through their letterbox and looked through their windows. But there was no sign of anyone. Concerned for the young couple, she called the police. And no, Mike, I don't want to know what you're wearing. But there was no sign of anyone. Concerned for the young couple, she called the police. The officers promptly broke down the door, then searched the house, only to find the young woman gagged and tied to the bed. Her husband was lying unconscious on the floor wearing a Superman outfit. Later, they later explained that they had been engaged in superhero role-playing fantasy, and the costume husband had knocked himself out attempting to jump onto his wife from the top of the dresser. And, of course, his woman was unable to help him. So he was out cold. Can you imagine? I never run across anything like that when I was a police officer, but I can imagine what it would the sight had to be. And then here's another one: cat toys. This is titled "Cat Toys." Unconscious 30-year-old man was brought into the emergency room by ambulance. His girlfriend found him lying naked on the floor in his bathroom and called 911. In the ER, he was found to have a large lump on the top of his head and strangely several scratches on his scrotum. The doctors figured out the lump was possibly caused by a fall or a knock on the head. However, the sources of the scratches remain a mystery until he woke up and provided the doctors with the following explanation. He said he had been cleaning his bathtub while naked, kneeling on the floor beside the tub. His cat, apparently transfixed by the rhythmic swaying of his scrotum, lunged forward, striking and sinking its claws into its pendulous target. This caused the man to rocket upward, striking his head on the top of the frame of the shower door. Ouch. Time to get rid of the cat. And then here's one. Elderly woman was transported to another hospital in an ambulance. The paramedics were quietly talking to her when the ambulance doors suddenly opened while they were journeying up an incline. The stretcher was strapped to, flew out, rolled down a tremendous hill before tipping over, narrowly missing 2 cars traveling in the opposite direction. I wonder how much money she got awarded after that. But here's one. This one kills me. A slender 45-year-old man from Georgia reportedly broken ribs after having literally escaped from his 300-pound wife. Apparently, she accidentally rolled onto him while sleeping, crushing his ribs. Ashamed by her weight problem and what she had done, she refused to let her husband leave the house. But he broke out a few days later while she was sleeping and went straight to the hospital. So, you ever heard that old saying, fatty and skinny went to bed, fatty rolled over, and skinny was dead? Well, not quite dead, but broken ribs. Let's see here. Couch gal, 400-pound woman from Illinois, was examined in the hospital. During the examination, an asthma inhaler fell from under her armpit, and a dime was found under one of her breasts. Surprising it's only a dime. That kind of makes me think of that movie. Did you say steak? You ever Deuce Bigelow? I love that movie. All right, what are we getting here? We getting any tweets? Oh, Mike got tired. He must be getting jiggy with it or something. Little Rosie Palmer. Ouch, in Michigan, a man came into the ER with lacerations to his penis. He complained that his wife had a rat in her privates, and it bit him during sex. After an examination of his wife, it is revealed that she had a surgical needle left inside her after her recent hysterectomy. Oh, that's just nasty. Oh, here you go. This is right up Mike's alley. A 20-year-old man came into the ER with a stony mass in his rectum. He says he's wearing a Powder Puff Girls onesies. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But that's right up Mike's alley right here, or back alley maybe. Yeah, a 20-year-old man came into the ER with a stony mass in his rectum. He said that his boyfriend were fooling around with concrete mix. Then his boyfriend had an idea of pouring the mix into his anus using a funnel. The concrete then hardened, causing constipation and pain. No shit. Under general anesthesia, a perfect concrete cast of the man's rectum was removed, along with a ping pong ball. So, ta-da! It kind of reminds me of the joke of, and I don't know if it'll transfer to radio quite well, but I'll try. I said, you hear about this little boy? He was saving up all summer, mowing yards, doing everything, trying to save up for the when the circus came to town. And so he's like, just all excited. The circus finally here, so he goes to school. He gets home. He runs in, throws his books down, starts to run out the door. His mom goes, "Where are you going?" He said, "Mom, the circus in town. This is the last day they're there. I gotta go." "No, you're doing your homework first. You're not going anywhere." So he's like, "Oh no, Mom, I can't. I'm gonna miss it." And he goes, "I don't care. Do your homework." So he goes through and he's flying through his homework, trying to get it done. And he gets done. He runs all the way down to the circus, gets in there just in time to hear him. "I'd like to thank you all for coming out. Have a good night." And he's like, he is just like unbelievably dejected. He's so upset. So he's just like moping back, walking back. And he looks over and he sees all the clowns going into their trailer. And he goes over and knocks on the door. And the clown answers. He goes, "What do you want, kid?" And he goes, "Oh, Mr. Clown, hey, I've been saving up all summer. I've been trying to do is, mowing yards and doing everything to see. I just want to, I missed your show. I was wondering if you could show me one trick." And he goes, Kid, get out of here. And he goes, Mr. Clown, he goes, I'll do anything. I'll give you all the money I got. I'll do anything. You just show me one trick." He goes, "One trick?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "One trick." And he says, "It's okay." He says, "Come on in here." So he comes into the trailer and he says, "All right, kid, drop your pants." He goes, "What? I'm not going to drop my pants." "All right, get out of here, kid." And he says, "All right." So he drops his pants and he goes, "All right, now turn around." And he goes, and the kid goes, "What?" And he goes, "Turn around and bend over." And he goes, No, I'm not going to do that." And he goes, all right, kid, get out of here. And the kid goes, all right. And he goes, "Ugh." And he goes, do you feel my thumb in your ass? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, ta-da, as he shows both thumbs to him. So, see, I'm sorry. I told you it didn't go over with the radio very well. It's got to be something, a visual joke. So, but that's why I always never like clowns. But let's see here. Blind drunk. A drunk staggered in Pennsylvania ER complaining of severe pain while he's trying to remove his contact lenses. He said that they would come out about halfway, but they'd always pop back in. A nurse tried using a suction pump without success. Finally, a doctor examined him and discovered that the man did not have his contact lenses in at all. He'd been trying to rip out the membrane of his cornea. And then here's probably the last one for the night, but a couple hobbled into a Washington State emergency room covered in bloody restaurant towels. The man had his hands around his abdomen, and the woman had hers around her head. They eventually explained to the doctors they had gone out for a romantic dinner. Overcome with passion, the woman crept under the table to administer oral sex to the man. While she was in the act, she had an epileptic seizure, and which caused her to clamp down on the man's penis and wrench it from side to side. In agony and desperation, the man grabbed a fork and stabbed her in the head until she let go. Ouch. Oh, I can't even. Oh, that sounds nasty. But no, you never know what's going to happen. You know, you gotta take the world as lighthearted. You can't take everything too serious. Because I mean, there's always something that you can find funny. I mean, that's the one thing. That's how, as a police officer, that was a coping mechanism. You know, I got to see weird thing, but I got to see things that happen to, you know, the average person that nobody would ever come across or shouldn't have to. You know, I've seen some things that, you know, I'll have to do is, you know, it's just like a soldier, you know, at war, he sees things that, you know, just is not a natural thing to take. And, you know, you have to learn to cope with it or it'll really eat you up. So, I mean, that's how a lot of it. And I do it through humor. I like to laugh things off to try to cope with them. I saw one time we're in the emergency room and we had a guy that he was fighting and while they're getting treatment, he'd been stabbed like 2 or 3 times and he coded on us right in front of us and the doctor didn't want us to go anywhere. He just said back up against the walls, you know, because they had so much tight room. He didn't want to take the time to have us get out of to leave. He didn't want to take the time to move out of the way, and so he called for a heart tray. And the one lady, nurse, was doing chest compressions on him he had an ambu bag. I don't know if that is the one where they squeeze to breathe for him, and she was doing chest compressions on him. You know, well. He was stabbed in the side. He had a big pressure bandage on it. It was like, you know, big, probably, I don't know, 12-inch bandage. And every time finally the bandage just broke free, and it was probably the wildest thing I've ever seen. It looked like, you know, when you take a hose and just spray water out of it. It's like almost like what it was. Every time she pushed on it, blood would just pour out of it. And so the other nurse just reached across like no big deal and put her hand right across there and held the bandage down. And the other lady was just soaked from the waist down in blood. And they didn't stop. And the doctor says, give me a heart tray, and cut him open. And I watched him do open heart massage on this guy right in front of me. And we got done, and he finally said, okay, you guys can go out now. We went out. And we went up to the front, and this one I used to work hospital security before I got into law enforcement. It was right when I first got out of the military. And I was standing there, and I walked in, and they had donuts there, and I started eating a donut. And the guy goes to me, how can you eat a donut after that? And I said, it wasn't me on the table. Why should I care, you know? So, you know, that's the way you got to learn to cope with a lot of things like that. You know, it's, and the guy lived, you know, the guy survived. So you got to give it, you know, credit to the doctor for saving this kid. But, you know, I mean, hopefully most people don't have to go through that. So hopefully you'll have a great rest of Memorial Day, which is only about another hour, and being a short week. Most people have been off today, so hopefully you had a good day. I worked the whole weekend, so it was, my next official day off, that I call it, is Thanksgiving. Being a golf pro, that's what I do. So I mean, unless it's really, really bad weather, I'm there pretty much every day. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you make sure you tune in for all our other shows. And if you want to do is add me on Facebook, you can do so. I will accept all your invites or requests. And I also try to do is interact with you. You send me messages. I try to if I can. But Joe Rocks and I are in a race, and I think Joe, I don't know if he's got any wheels on his car yet, so he's kind of dragging along. We're seeing who could get the most on Facebook, but he gives me a lot of crap about it. So make sure you do is listen in to us on Spreaker and listen in to us on our other platforms like Live 365, Athena 365, MyGen 365, and search Arm Radio on all those, and Spreaker.com/Arm Radio. So, and remember to like us on Facebook at Armed Radio 1, and also follow us on Twitter at Armed Radio 1. So once again, to our sponsors, xunity.tv and KNLconsulting.com, we really appreciate you. And make sure you guys all stop by both of those and check them out. I don't think you will find it's very satisfactory and enjoyable. So once again, we'll see you Friday night for another version of Straight Talk. And have a great week, and we'll see you shortly. What I'm going to do is, last time I took you out with a little bit of Chemical Ride. This week, we're going to take you out with a little bit of, it's called Stillborn. So hopefully you like this one.